there was the whole issue of crossing the line when it came to she and Jack Layton living in subsidized housing, which she is asked about all the time, but downplays that. She really doesn't see anything wrong with that. She has actually spun it into saying, I was actually doing these people a favor because I was showing them how, income can be, diversified and, the wealthy can live with the poor.
That's the famous lefty spin. But, I trudged out in the snow yesterday to buy her book specifically to read the 2 pages on where she talked about this. And she spins it in such a way that she says she wanted to give Jack's children, who were young, Sarah and Mike at that point, an experience of downtown living with the poor and the disenfranchised and all that sort of stuff. And she was doing everybody a big favor. She doesn't think that she was in this rent geared to income housing.
It was a 3-bedroom apartment, which they paid $800 for on a combined income of $120,000.
She says there were 2 apartments, in her book she says there were 2 apartments. One they paid $1,200, another one for her mom was $750. I don't know. It never came out at the time. So all of a sudden in her book she's come up with the figures. It's very interesting.
It's interesting, but it's also sad because there are hundreds of people waiting to get into this kind of housing, which are actually poor.
They had to be shamed. They actually had to be shamed over a matter of months to move out. Hey, I'm hoping you'll autograph your book at least. If you won't talk to me, at least maybe you'll autograph your book. Well, when can we get together and talk? Okay. Yeah. Well, please read it. I am reading it. Okay, so autograph it for me, please.
And here's the book. Precious. And Sue Ann Levy, of course, you got the autograph. All right, so...
Oh my
God.
I'll sell it on eBay.
You might be able to. It might go up in value, though, in 8 months. We're just at the start of this mayoral race. It's going to be very, very long. It's going to be very dirty. So it's going to take the mainstream media, or the media in general, to start telling the stories of the candidates. But I don't get the sense that that story, or her story, is actually going to be told. Well,
judging from what happened yesterday, both to me and the reaction to her announcement, I mean, this, as you said in your intro, the swooning, the absolute swooning in that room. And the fact that she got off the stage and actually hugged and kissed Royce and James. I mean, imagine if John Tory had done that to me. So, I just fear that the left, they smelled blood in that room yesterday, the left wing. They think their time has come. They're entitled to take Toronto back from the fiscal conservatives.
Okay, so you came on my show on Thursday, and we talked about the Olivia Chow that you remembered. I mean, you were all prepared to sit down with this woman to do an interview for a feature you're writing. But they didn't like anything that you said, but all you said was what you experienced in City Hall. So they're really controlling her.
Well, I think what I got from her communications person, and this was a gentleman I had never met before. He apparently had worked for Jack Layton in Ottawa. And my first meeting was with him yesterday. It was very confrontational. And he was upset with what I had said about the affordable housing, about the co-op. They are apparently very sensitive about that. Well, what I said to you was a lot of what I had gotten out of this book, number one. And number two, what I had dug up of articles that were written at the time. Yeah. And, I mean, there was a campaign, a pressure, the media pressure on her and Jack to get out of that co-op was tremendous.
So you essentially got a number of kind of bizarre emails from them shutting you out, which is not the smartest move to do with the media on day one.
I was accused of not telling the truth, of telling mistruths, not listening to the truth. This was by her new communications person. And I was accused of not listening to the truth. I'm not sure what truth I didn't listen to because I haven't gotten an interview with her. But I was also accused of being a birther. Someone who questions Obama's heritage, whether he was born in America or not.
Right.
It was so bizarre, Alex.
Okay, so clearly they're trying to protect the message. They want her to be branded as someone far different from Rob Ford. Fair enough. But there is something to be said about over-controlling someone. Olivia Chow's not dumb. She's been doing this for a long time. She can certainly meet face-to-face with you.
Well, they're trying to make this co-op thing go away. And by beating up, first of all, they picked the wrong journalist to pick a fight with. Because it just makes me want to, look into her more. But the fact is that I've gotten a lot of issues that came, I'm going to write about a lot of issues that came up with Olivia over the years. Some of them you touched on, and many, many more. Her spending, over the years. And I wanted her to hear her side of the story. If she says she values a dollar, has she changed? Has she had an epiphany? I wanted to hear what she's going to do about bike lanes, all the things, all the traffic congestion she's created in this city.
Yeah, I mean, look, she has to roll out some policy, and she has to get behind what she's saying, but she's not even talking about what she'll bring to the city, and no one's pressing her on this.
Well, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, she was asked about the Island Airport expansion. Big, huge expansion, which I think will be very good for the city. Bob DeLuce's intention to bring in jets. And of course, she was strongly against the airport even developing beyond a sleepy commuter airline, and was there the day that Porter took off protesting. I was there. I saw her. And so, I mean, it was a natural question. And it just got, one question, and then she said she wasn't going to support it, and I don't think I even saw a heck of a lot of coverage about it.
You can only ignore it for so long. I mean, you can only ignore and stay on message for so long before you have to actually start answering questions. Look, the opinion about Olivia Chow really changed when Jack Layton passed away. It's like the nation put their arms around her, and now everyone considers her a friend. So she's got an advantage that her opponents don't.
Well, and don't think she didn't bring up Jack a few times in yesterday's announcement, and you will hear that on the campaign trail. I thought it was very rich because she talked about her mom and about her dad. I didn't even know she had a dad. He sort of suddenly came out of the woodwork, which is fine. But she talked about how she's caring for these parents who don't live together, and without her dear Jack, who passed away. And I thought, oh, my, little tear came out of my eye. At the time. She's definitely going to be playing on that card.
I think there's a few cards we'll be seeing being played. It's going to be a long 8 months, but I have a feeling it's going to be interesting.
It is.
Levy, a pleasure always. Thank you.